Welcome back. So after a record-breaking national senior certificate pass rate by the matric class of 2024, a new challenge awaits the students. About 387,610 candidates are vying for just 210,000 places on first-year courses in 26 universities in the country. So how will government deal with this? Well, I'm joined by Higher Education Director General, Dr. Nkosinathi Sishi, on this discussion. Dr. Sishi, a good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I crunched those numbers. I suppose we've spent so much time celebrating these young people, and absolutely many people will agree that well-deserved celebration. Now we get to the bottleneck, right? All of these learners will want to further their education. The greatest concern for the department?
Firstly, I think we need to continue celebrating the milestone achievement of our young people in our country. Congratulations to all the teachers, all the parents, and all society for supporting the good work of our students and our teachers. And I think this is a time to celebrate the contribution by our teachers. And I think as the Department of Higher Education and Training, where our minister has articulated our views of support to many of these young people. And we want to assure all of them that we will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that they are accommodated in post-school education and training through various options that are available to us, including our universities. We've got 50 public universities, more than 145 private higher education institutions. And you also have TVET colleges, whereas you have 26 public universities, you've got 50, colleges with more than 128 private TVET colleges that are ready to absorb these young people into various programs that over the years we've been improving in quality and in articulation to allow for diverse options made available to our young people. Of course, there's going to be difficulty in a year where multitudes of young people have done so well. And it's important for us to work with our structures, our institutions, to making sure that this is done. Yeah. One of our biggest instruments this year of improving the admissions and enrollments of our students have been to just clean up the NSFAS administrative system. And I think I'm very happy to announce that through the initiatives led by our minister, who's been in consultation with our stakeholders throughout the holidays, and not only them, but also vice chancellors of our universities, we've managed to improve communication. And because of it, I think there's clarity in our institutions of what needs to be done. And I think this will be the experience of the majority of our young people. Yeah. But we must expect the difficulties that normally are associated with the panic by many students who would have done well, but they never expected to do so. And because of it, they pitch in institutions they would not have applied. But we've made provisions for walk-in students to be admitted in selected universities. We also have made provisions for late registrations and enrollments in our institutions. I'm happy to announce that 675,000 students that have already been provisionally funded through NSFAS of the total of 891,000 students that have applied.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's impressive. And if we continue with the crunching of numbers, Dr. Sishi, and this is important, I think, and you talk about 50 colleges, 145 institutions, you talk about TVET colleges, you talk about now the 26 university, of course, that I mentioned earlier. Perhaps this is a difficult tally, but I wonder if you've done it for this over, I think it's about, just under 700,000 learners that completed matric, the places that we have all in all available for them.
I think it's important that in South Africa, we have an abnormally a situation where the majority of young people aspire for university enrollment. No matter how we have tried to begin to speak about a new size and shape of the post-school education and training system, and have continued to improve various offerings and new programs at our TVET institutions, and we've developed a very viable community education and training system. But you still have a largest majority of our young people looking at all of those options as second options to university opportunities. But on another day, we will talk about what we've been doing to expand the college system, because that is the strategy going forward, ensuring that we increase, offerings in our institutions. We've introduced centers of specialization, aligning the programs offered by colleges to the needs of our economy, but also ensuring that we offer occupational programs that are short-term courses that speaks to short-term employment opportunities that are needed in our institutions.
Yeah.
What has been a problem in the past, this time of the year, has been that because there's no alignment between the financial year and academic year, you find that most of our institutions do not have money to cover the cost of enrollments at the beginning of the year. So what we have done this year is that we have approved about 4 billion rands, which is an advance payment to all of our universities, so that they are able to cover the costs, of living expenses, travel and books and accommodation for our students for the first 3 months of the year, so that by the time the new financial year makes available additional resources, there is no problem in these institutions. We have allocated about 641 million rands to all our TVET colleges for the same reason, making sure that there is no shortage of resources to ensure that on day one of enrollments, we are able to cater for our students.
Okay, and I want to sit with TVET colleges, because I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done there, and I suppose enlightening some of our learners around that path as well and what's available to them. But perhaps talk to me about the sort of results that we get coming out of TVET colleges where job creation or employability is concerned, right? Where the green shoots have been. So a young person who is unable to get into a university, what can they get from a TVET college?
Well, firstly, let me just give you a breakdown per province, just to give a sense of what are the numbers we are talking about. The colleges in the Eastern Cape province, in ministerial programs, when we talk about ministerial programs, these are the programs that are funded fully by government, and which therefore, if a student is admitted in these institutions, they are, we are able to, get the costs covered. We are talking about 56,000 students already in the Eastern Cape. And this is really important to us, that in addition to the 56,000 students that are potentially to be enrolled in the Eastern Cape, we've got an additional 3,000 students in non-ministerial funded programs, which are short-term, short courses and occupational programs. That's a huge system. Free State with 35,000, Gauteng 101,000. 71,000 in the Western Cape. So you can actually see the magnitude and size of this system. We've done some preliminary work, training councils in all of these institutions, in all of our regional offices, developing the capacity for these councils to handle the responsibility. And much has been achieved in this regard, but I think it's important for us to also indicate that there are challenges. And most of the challenges are that because students see college offerings as a second option. Most of the time when they get into colleges, it's only then that we establish their needs, and therefore, depending on the capacity of each institution, we'll be able to cater for those institutions. But there will be those where there's slow response to the needs of the students. And those are the areas that are challenging us. And we are working with our institutions, with our councils, to making sure that we are ready for all our young people that are there. But I think the fact that we've allocated resources in advance for them to find that institutions do not struggle, it will go some way in ensuring that we address the problems we were confronted with in the previous years.
You know, if you're watching at home right now and you are a matriculant or perhaps a parent and you're looking at this discussion, you're thinking, all right, all of that's available. Where do I go? Because ultimately at this time of the year, that's where the rush is, right? Give us the platform where I need to go to see what's available near me. Have we centralized that? Where do learners and family members go to place their children?
I know that we need to improve on our communication strategy. It is no use for me to paint a perfect picture of a system that we are developing. And as you know, whereas our constitution guarantees, education for basic education, but for post-school education, it is incrementally made available, depending on the capacity of the state to do so. Because of this reason, we continuously develop our capacity to cater for our students. And what is key for us this year is that we've improved the communication network that will enable for us to respond where the support is needed. We have deployed officials throughout the length and breadth of our country, in the provinces, to making sure that they respond right there. We've decentralized NSFAS offices. In the past, you'll have to go to Cape Town just to follow up on an inquiry, around your previous application. Now we've decentralized it to regions, so that in Gauteng, we've got the regional offices that will cater for the province, in KwaZulu-Natal and the rest of other provinces. So you do have, the situation where we are moving closest to where our institutions are located.
Yeah, and it's so imperative that we obviously get these young people into opportunities. Thank you so much for giving us that update, Dr. Nkosinathi Sishi, there, Department of Higher Education and Training Director General.